So Jess is going to demonstrate a deadlift for us today. So the first thing she wants to do is approach the bar. Now she's going to line up the bar so that the bar is just over the tops of where her shoelaces would be. All right, she's going to grip the bar in whichever grip she feels comfortable with. Make sure it's a nice even grip. Right, the next thing she wants to do is sit down and set her shoulders back. So you can see how long and strong and neutral her spine is in this position. So her knees are coming slightly forward, so the bar is actually going to touch her shins now. Right, so in that strong position, Jess is going to push the ground away, push her hips up, chest up, and stand in one smooth motion. Reversing the movement, back down again. So the bar is staying nice and close. Again for me, Jess. Beautiful. And one more time. So you can see how nice and tall and stacked Jess is at the top of the movement. And there's never any bend through her waist, and her shoulders are always back. All right, the next variation of the deadlift is the sumo deadlift. So as Jess approaches the bar this time, she's going to go wider with her feet and her toes are going to be slightly pointed out. All the other setup points are the same as her regular deadlift. Her hands are going to go narrow, again with a nice even spaced grip. Shoulders again back, nice and neutral in the spine. A little bit more bend in the knees with this one. And then as we're driving up, the knees coming out and tracking over the toes. Good. So she's really just pushing the ground away, making sure those knees are wound out and moving up in one smooth movement. Great, thanks Jess. Jess is now going to demonstrate the Romanian deadlift. So the difference between this one and your other deadlifts is this movement starts from the top. All the other parts of the movement are the same as your regular deadlift, but this time you can only have to go down as far as you feel comfortable with your hamstrings. So this time Jess is going to tilt from the hips. The bar's going to stay up nice and close, and then she's going to come up and squeeze just the same as her other deadlift movement. You can see her feet are a little bit narrower than she does in a regular deadlift. So this is a really great starting point if you're just learning how to deadlift, just to get that movement pattern right. Beautiful. Thanks, Jess. The variation Jess is going to demonstrate now is a stiff-legged deadlift. So with this one, what we want to try and do is keep our legs as long as possible in the movement. So we're still hinging from the hips and moving down with the bar nice and close to our thighs, but only going down until your knees are wanting to bend. You can see Jess is quite tight in her hamstrings, so she's only able to go just to her knees before her legs want to bend on her. You can see, just like all our other deadlifts, her spine is nice and long and neutral and her shoulders are back. So it's very important, and a good squeeze of the glutes at the top. This is a great one for working the hamstrings. Okay, so the trap bar deadlift. Now the difference between your trap bar and your regular bar is that the handles of the deadlift are actually going to be on the side. So it's actually a lot easier for you to lift a heavy weight because your shoulders are already going to be set back in that back position. So Jess is just going to go into her deadlift position, centering herself in the middle of the trap bar, again with the slightly bent knees, nice long neutral spine, good hinge from the hips, shoulders back, and then pushing the ground away. And you can see how easy it is for Jess to keep her shoulders back in this movement now. So if you do struggle with the rotation of your shoulders, or if you're very forward set with your shoulders, this may be a good variation for you. Great, thanks Jess.